Okay, it's been officially 1 week now since Mortal Kombat 2 was released in theaters. And I wanted to wait at least a week until after this one comes out so I could do a proper spoiler review of it, so that the majority of you watching this have already had time to see it by now. And although I said that this movie was good but not great, but the problem is, the more I think about this film, the worse it gets. But let me get some of the positives out of the way first. My absolute favorite thing about this film was Karl Urban's performance as Johnny Cage. As I said in my initial review of the film, he did a phenomenal job capturing Johnny Cage's cocky personality and magnetic charisma from the games perfectly. The action sequences, visual effects, and cinematography were all very well done. All of the tournaments were very well choreographed, and you truly felt the gravity of the hits every single time the characters went head to head. My favorite match out of all of them was the match between Kung Lao and Liu Kang. Now this was a very well done fight. Some of the new characters added to the cast, such as Katana and Jade, were very well done, and the actors playing them did a good job with what they were given. Unfortunately, this is where the good stops here because everything else about this film is either nonsensically stupid or just downright terrible. The film's plot is littered with so many continuity errors that it made me question whether or not this film was even made by the same crew that did the first film. For example, the first Mortal Kombat movie established that you have to have a birthmark in order to compete in Mortal Kombat. But Johnny Cage didn't have a birthmark, so why was he chosen then? Not only that, the first film ended on a cliffhanger with Cole Young saying that he was going to move to Hollywood, and it was implied heavily with this shot that he was going to meet and recruit Johnny Cage. So why didn't Mortal Kombat 2 follow up on that? Again, are you really sure this film and its predecessor were written by the same people? Here's another continuity error. So Raiden says in the film that the Mortal Kombat tournament is about to start, and he decided to recruit Johnny Cage at the last minute before the tournaments were about to begin so that he could train him in time. One problem though, why didn't you recruit Johnny Cage months in advance or a year in advance so you could have enough time to train him to prepare for the tournament? I guess Raiden didn't learn his lesson from the last film to not recruit people at the last second to train them for Mortal Kombat. Now here's another problem I had with how this film handled Shao Kahn. Now don't get me wrong, for the most part he was a very imposing and threatening villain, and he is way better than the Shao Kahn in Mortal Kombat Annihilation. I'd rather take this Shao Kahn over the one in Annihilation any day. But here's one thing in Shao Kahn's plan that didn't make sense to me. He says in the film that he wants to go after the amulet of Shinnok in order to give himself immortality. But there's one problem with that though. He already won several tournaments in a row and didn't die once. So why would he decide until now to get the amulet if he wasn't even concerned about dying beforehand? And here's another thing I want to get off my chest, but am I the only one who thought that the way Shao Kahn got defeated in the end was a little bit dumb? In the end of the film, he gets defeated by Katana taking her hair ribbon and wrapping it around him to restrain him and then killing him after the amulet's power wears off. I'm pretty sure that he would be strong enough to snap her hair ribbon off. I also really didn't like how this film had taken certain characters from the games and turned them into complete jokes. Like, for example, what this film did to Baraka was just unforgivable. This film turned Baraka into this juvenile buffoon who's constantly the butt of the joke, and I'm sorry, that's nothing like how he was in the games. And here's one more thing I just gotta get out of the way. Why was Kano in this film? I mean, to be fair, while I did find Kano in this film to be a lot more tolerable and more funny than he was in the first Mortal Kombat film because I couldn't stand him in Mortal Kombat 2021. But that doesn't change the fact that his existence in this film was completely superfluous. They said that the reason they had Quan Chi resurrect him from the dead was so they could get the amulet that was on his dead body, but if you wanted the amulet from him, why didn't you just take it off his corpse instead of resurrecting him? You really didn't need to resurrect him at all. And since I brought him up, I really didn't like how this film handled Quan Chi. I'm sorry, they turned Quan Chi into a goddamn joke. And it pains me to say that because Quan Chi in the games was a very formidable villain and a force to be reckoned with. And for this film to treat him like a joke was just really disappointing in my eyes. Oh yeah, I almost forgot he was in this film. What was Shang Tsung doing here? If you really think about it, Shang Tsung in this film did absolutely nothing to push the narrative forward. This is basically my biggest problem with this film overall. Half the characters in here didn't serve a point and were completely superfluous. Kano was useless, Sindel was useless, Noob Saibot was useless, and so on. I mean, don't get me wrong, the match between Scorpion and Noob Saibot was very good to see on screen, but why was Noob Saibot even in this film? So yeah, overall, I have to lower my rating for Mortal Kombat 2 from a 7 out of 10 to a 5 out of 10. While I do slightly prefer this film over the first, mainly because of Johnny Cage and the improved visual effects, that's still not saying much. I mean, hey, I will say this though, I'd rather watch this film again over Mortal Kombat Annihilation. But then again, that is a low bar. So what did you guys think of Mortal Kombat? Did you hate it? Did you love it? Did you find it painfully mediocre like I did? Let me know what you think in the comment section below. And don't forget to like and subscribe if it's your first time on this channel.